Blizzard just saved patch 12.0.7. That's right, guys. The day before it releases, we got patch dropping. I mean, if you're watching this now, this is probably the day of the release if you're watching this on YouTube. But Blizzard doing a bunch of rebalancing and stuff here right before the patch goes live. Let's see what this is all about here from Bellular.
Pretty crazy title for this video, but honestly, I think it's kinda true. You see, 12.07 does a lot of things. One of them is Blizzard trying to fix up leveling, or at least give you a new option for that, where instead of a massive grind where you set aside half a day and just resign yourself to the drudgery, they want you to be able to do it efficiently. Just one chunk at a time, and actually in current content, instead of playing the same old campaign or the same old set of dungeons that you've perhaps grown sick of by now. And it's all part of them doing something that we've literally been begging for since at least Dragonflight. And that is, it's crazy to say this,
What?
them fixing obvious problems with the patch during the PTR before the patch actually goes live. This is no guarantee it will go live and bug-free, but there are design changes.
Oh, it's going to break everything, guaranteed. It's going to break everything. What is that? What are all these pinging noises today? There's a lot of weird shit from Notification Center here, but okay. Thank you for whoever did that. Listen, the whole thing with patch release and everything and the recent PTR cycles is they have been listening to feedback. We've been doing the news throughout the entire PTR cycle, and I will say Blizzard's been really quick to fix things lately. They're listening to the feedback and they're actually like, hey, you know, these players take the time to download the PTR and actually test this thing out. We should listen to what they're saying in terms of advice on feedback. And it looks like they've been really quick to act. They've been changing a lot of things. I mean, we're literally up until this last week, I've been dropping news about how they're changing stuff before this patch releases. So hopefully a successful patch release. That's what we're hoping for.
Fairly last minute ones that are fantastic. And if you want to know why that's important, just read the comments of Warcraft videos. Just remember how bad a lot of this has gotten. Patch day in WoW has become unpredictable for years. It's almost a trained habit to expect the worst. And the pattern is a new thing comes out, then Blizzard scrambles to fix it over the next few weeks. Bugs are a part of that and those are bad, but today, what Blizzard have fixed is reward design, and that's an extreme contrast to their recent history. Take Mop Remix. It ended up having to get, post-launch, an entire novel's worth of patch notes. Then the 20th anniversary event needed tons of reward tweaks, and the trend has only gotten worse for Midnight. In the pre-patch, they even needed to hotfix their rewards. And they clearly didn't learn because the Void Assaults were, and still are, essentially useless on your ults. Not that it was much better for mains, because field accolades were just used for frustrating gacha game-style blind boxes.
Yeah, they're fixing that. They're fixing that. Like Bellular said, it looks like they're fixing a lot of things that they realized, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best choice of how to do this.
Bit of a self-own there, Blizzard. So because of all that negative stuff, I'm incredibly happy to say that they've now done the crazy thing of stopping a reward design train wreck ahead of time, and in doing so, they may have just saved the main feature of patch 12.07.
I don't know what
Showdowns.
that is.
It's a bit of an odd name for a feature where we go to another planet and kill some people, but what it actually is a showdown against the people who were doing all the Void invasions in 12.07. It's kind of neat how they're tied together, and as bits of content, showdowns are genuinely good. They have great world building that we've been covering in our lore videos, but they did suffer from the same...
Oh my god, Rat Bull, Jesus, man, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. 10 more Death Knights for our Scourge. Rabble, you maxing out your credit card, man? Man, thank you. What the hell? 20 gifted subs today. Thank you, man. Jesus, let's continue the video. Sorry, I had to pause for that
as we saw last patch. The rewards are tied to field accolades and Void Light Marl, the existing currencies. And the rewards themselves are mostly just recolors of Midnight gear, which have, got a little bit boring by now. Obviously, there's gear and crests for player power, but that's not super exciting toward the end of a season. Then there's the problem of no meaningful progression in the content itself. It's just kind of there. Heroic World Tier is a bit of a fix to these problems, where, it's hard as hell that gear will actually be useful. And in terms of raw video game design, there's plenty of unique challenge and design elements to the Heroic mode, and it really does deliver on the premise of hard world content, and that adds a real selling point. Gameplay that you can't find anywhere else. If Blizzard wants someone to come back for a patch, I think messaging like that is what will get people back. And because it's hard, Blizzard have added some juicy gear rewards, but they know it's not for everyone, so it doesn't have unique cosmetic rewards or any other reason to go out of your comfort zone if you're a collector.
Right, it's they're doing the awards of stuff correctly right now, definitely. Sam, I feel bad for not sub. No, no, never feel bad for not subbing, guys. I appreciate you guys just being here and watching. Honestly, I do. I appreciate you guys for just being here and watching. It's always it's nice. It's nice to have you guys here for sure. And you guys are watching. You guys are participating in the stream. And all everyone who watches on YouTube, I don't care if they're subbed or not. I appreciate them watching. I do. I mean, what the fuck am I here doing? Reacting to content and dropping shit news every morning, and people are watching it. I honestly don't understand why people watch my shit half the time, but they do, and I thank you guys. I do. It's okay, Sam. I don't. Good. All right, thanks. Yeah, no problem. Chronic, thank you for the gifting another tier 1 sub to Ray. There you go, gifting 22 total. Thank you, guys. There's a lot going on today. Jesus.
And that leaves less sweaty players, which is the biggest
Thanks.
proportion of the player base,
Feels weird.
Stuck with a system that is, well, let's put it kindly, not set up for success. That would have been the case when this patch launches, but now it has changed. The biggest threat to showdowns in 1207 is essentially the same problem that's been plaguing almost all of WoW's recent content. There's plenty of mild novelty and a pile of mid rewards, but there's absolutely no long tail. Even if they're perfectly fine bits of content, there's no reason to stick around or to come back later. It's just another patch feature, which, if Void Assaults are anything to go by, well, do seem to be forgettable, short shelf life distraction bits of content rather than being things that are genuinely adding something new to do in World of Warcraft. So what's the fix for this? Well, instead of doing their usual, which has been shipping the whole thing undertuned and ruining patch day like usual...
I would say ritual sites, though, do feel like a major addition to the game. Like he said, there's these things from patches that just drop all the time and they just kind of come and go, and they're very limited in their time span. I think ritual sites, they're not like on the level of delves, but they kind of are. Like the changes that they brought and how you gather up hero crests and myth crests and how you do your just kind of your daily grinds. No, honestly, ritual sites, while assaults are kind of stupid. I don't know what the fuck the point of those were. Ritual sites, no, are like a meaningful thing right now for progression this season. I think a lot of people are still doing them. No, they're garbage. They might not be fun anymore. Sure, I mean, just like anything else, it becomes a bit tedious. You're doing it a couple times, but it's given another way to grind out crests, especially for people who don't mythic raid or push high mythic keys.
They instead buffed everything. As an example, crest rewards went up by a full level in each, so quests and rares on normal give you champion crests, and on heroic, they give you hero crests. Then they changed achievement rewards. You see, achievement rewards also used to ask you for fat stacks of Voidlight Marl, as if you weren't doing enough already. It's that frustrating thing where maybe via a renown or an achievement, you lock a cool new reward that you can buy at a vendor, and it ends up being really expensive, which makes it feel like your reward for doing the content was the opportunity to be able to purchase something using resources you'd then have to go and grind.
Right.
Feels bad, man.
Does feel
bad. Now, though, Blizzard have changed it. Once you get the achievement, you still have to buy those things from the vendor, but you only pay 15 Marl. It takes seconds to earn that.
Yeah.
And on top...
You'll have it just for doing stupid anything in the game right now with Voidlight Marl. Yeah, it's so cheap right now. 15 is literally a joke. It'd be more expensive if they charged you gold rather than 15 Voidlight Marl. I guarantee everybody has that just by accident at this point. So yeah, I mean, one thing I think, understatement, one thing he's talking about a lot in this video is they're using 12.0.7 to fix a lot of the annoying things that they've already put into the game. They're going back and they're fixing a lot of the loot issues, a lot of the things that we're like, why the hell did they make this a loot box? Why'd they use this currency? I think a lot of that is just being changed. Kind of, it feels like almost unannounced. But if you didn't really read through the patch notes, you wouldn't have caught it. But they have said it, and they're changing a lot of things based on what players have asked for.
Of that, the previously buffed field accolades have now got even
Bring
more
back Valor Stones?
No way.
No way, I hated those things.
You'll be able to buy gear boxes for specific slots. It's champion gear for 100 field accolades and hero for 750. So straight up, slot-based hero gearing, which will then take you up to heroic world tier, where you can go and farm their upgrade crests. That's a system that actually makes sense, and it means that these showdowns are now so much more palatable when, you're trying to make progress while playing new stuff, and you're actually making progress, meaning that you don't have the usual thing WoW has where you're just feeling torn between what content you should do because it all feels, I don't know, a little bit like soup. But it's not just that they've changed, because they have done XP buffs, and this is huge because it gives us an entire new way to level our characters.
That's right.
One thing we've noticed
Big
more than
leveling
ever
buffs.
before is people complaining about leveling in Midnight. You see, world quests feel slower than ever to level with, dungeon XP is obscenely low, and the only way to hit 90 at any decent pace was to speedrun the campaign.
Right.
And this was real obvious when Void Assaults landed in 1205. They felt a lot like the pre-patch level grind event things that we've just been getting since the Legion expansion, except that instead of giving you lots of XP, they gave you laughable amounts of XP. And worse yet, laughable amounts of the actual currency rewards needed at level 90. That meant that they added new content to World of Warcraft that was irrelevant to your main, and irrelevant to the alt you were considering to level up. Pretty damn bad, right? That was a bad state of affairs that told people to just go and level elsewhere and then come back to the new content at max level, where it kind of felt a bit vestigial and weird. Showdowns explicitly avoid that problem, and I'm so happy I can say that. You see, after the buffs Blizzard have just implemented, the weekly Wrapper quest gives you a rather massive 30% of a level. That's not bad for just doing a weekly, but it actually gets even better.
It's an 80% buff, like across the board. If you look at the numbers, and we've talked about this, the buff is so massive for leveling. You're going to be able to level up alts in this patch like it's a joke. 80% quicker, basically.
World quests on Val and Nagtel, the two new worlds, they're worth 3 times the amount of XP as a regular world quest, and they are positioned way closer together. Each one of them gives you about 9% of a level, and the place is utterly littered with them. Now, the rare mobs found in these two worlds aren't as juicy, but they give you about 5% of a level, and they award you a full amount of accolades. So, if you kill them when you're leveling, you get just as many accolades as if you kill them on your max level character. And even better, gearing won't be an issue for you either.
What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that sound that keeps going off? I don't see it anywhere. I don't see an alert for it anywhere. I'm looking at, I don't know where the hell that thing's coming from. It's the G Fuel page? What? Is it? Is it people buying G Fuel? I have no idea either. I don't know. People are buying shit. I don't know. I have 40% off your G Fuel right now with code Samiccus. That's until June 18th. That's a big one. So maybe that's why. I have no idea. Jesus. Well, thank you.
That's because everything now drops very strong gear for level 80s. And because you're grounded and the two worlds are fairly dense, you can do a hell of a lot of mob killing. Mobs, of course, drop the standard 0.5% of a level worth of XP per kill, which really does add up when they're packed this close together. Now, of course, it wouldn't be World of Warcraft if there wasn't some type of catch. Showdowns are primarily tuned for endgame, and that means that even at level 80, you don't get that same low-level god mode feeling of just murdering everything in sight from the campaign, and the rares can really pack a punch as well. And the sheer density of mobs, and mobs that have mechanics, means you do have to approach things a bit more carefully, which, you know what, is actually way more fun. It's not hard by any means, but you do just have to pay attention.
Right.
Now, I call this a catch because it'll technically slow you down, but I can tell Blizzard aren't really thinking about speed leveling here. They're thinking about a shocking concept, and that concept is called progressing in the game being fun.
Oh my God, that is what the hell? I mean, who would have think WoW being fun? Why would that be a thing? But no, seriously, it has been. I mean, you guys have been watching me. You know, I'm not the biggest like Mythic Plus guy. I get AOTC or not AOTC, Keystone, Dungeon Master every single season, all that other stuff. But I'm not like constantly grinding out Mythic Plus. But this season I'm starting to because it's been kind of fun. It has been, and even the rating scene. I talked about the tiered release and everything. It's been fun. I've just been enjoying it. We're literally getting our cheeks clapped by a chandelier, right? For like 2 weeks now. Trying to kill Heroic Lura with a pug raid, which is like an insurmountable achievement because of the symbols and everything. But I don't know why I'm having fun. Like, even though she's literally beating the shit out of us, I'm enjoying it. I don't know what it is. It's just been a good time. I think just the way they've made the game right now in Midnight, it's actually enjoyable.
The big question then, does fun beat fast? Well, here's how it plays out. Rares have, of course, limited spawns, and the world quests will eventually run out. And this is where I think Blizzard has a little bit of a plan. Maybe. Normal world quests are up for half of a week, and then they refresh every once in a while. You can clear the map and pretty much log out knowing that you're done. It's different with showdown maps, though. They actually work differently, where world quests are only up for a short amount of time, but they refresh just as fast. The idea is they feel less like world quests that are just pinned in the map for days, and more like little events that are going on all of the time in this really packed zone. And that means that if you clear the map and clear all the world quests, some world quests will actually have spawned behind you. If you log out, within an hour, it'll be full again. And that's really good. These fast respawning world quests are going to be a huge source of XP and field accolades. And they're also brand new quests with often fairly fun mechanics, instead of, the same old ones recycled. And together, a pattern emerges here. Shorter session times where you can just keep on going and playing.
Right.
And within a shorter session time, you'll get a big chunk of XP from the likes of the weekly that gives you a third of a level. And there can be, with that, a natural endpoint to log out and, come back tomorrow. So basically, for the 30 minutes to an hour that it'll take you to clear the map, you can be super efficient in your leveling speed.
Yeah.
And after that, you can just keep leveling. As you do that, you'll keep getting field accolades, you'll keep getting gear, and it'll be fun because you're just in flow, just playing the game, and you don't have waves upon waves of interruptions. I mean, if you're doing one of every single delve in the game, just for the sake of those Delver call quests, that is just checkbox chore work. You're barely playing the game. You can't get into flow. I think that is very much...
Yeah, this is, look, the casual Andys out there who don't have all day to play, the Gregs of accounting, who want alts. I mean, this is going to be the best. There's no way to not say that this is the best version of alt leveling that's ever existed in WoW. And right now, I keep saying it because it does keep happening. This is the best version of WoW ever for alts. I mean, it just is. Right now, having an alt is just so rewarding, and it's so easy to get. Hey, maybe you're sick of your current class. You want to just level up another class. Go ahead and do it. Maybe you want another progression journey to feel like you're on. Just go ahead and do it. There's so many easy ways right now to level up alts, and they're making it even easier. And then the end game for alts is just all connected. There's no repeat grinds anymore. So it's just, my God, it's just like never been better to just have multiple WoW characters.
Not the case with the likes of how world content in the showdowns is actually orchestrated by...
Some people don't even care about having alts. They just like the feeling of leveling. Go ahead and do it. Shit. It's so easy.
Blizzard's game systems. And if you level up in this way, you'll be collecting enough field accolades to have stacks of hero gear for your fresh character whenever you cap. And you know what? I like that, and I see a plan coming together.
We have a realm to destroy.
Super dough killer. Thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to our skirt.
In 1207, if you want to play alts, you can do new content. That's rarely the case in WoW. You can do it in a group if you want for speed. You can do it alone for that solo questing vibe. It's new content that's fun, that's rewarding, that's novel, and if you level up completely in the normal mode and then get yourself decked out in hero gear, well then there's heroic world here sitting, ready for you to, I don't know, I suppose, grind yourself off it. Pretty good. Everyone's zerging the heroic world tier on launch may kind of change how it actually lands, but I'll at least say that thanks to this final...
That's what I'm going to do, by the way. When servers go up, when I'm live the next day, I think a Wednesday morning, because servers are going to be down, I don't know what the fuck that is. Servers are going to be down for 8 hours. Yes, 8 hours. So when they come back up, that's the first thing I'm going to go into heroic world tier, because I think literally people are going to zerg that shit, and it might be the easiest time to do it because it's world content. The more people there are playing the world content, the easier it should be. And Blizzard's already described the world bosses in heroic world tier being on a level of like somewhat like raid bossy. These are not going to be like, just zerg them down world bosses. They're going to have some mechanics to do and stuff. So we'll see how those are going to go, but we're going to need a lot of people to do them. So that's why you're just going to have to get out there and do it with them. I don't know what the fuck that chime is. I have no idea. Yeah, it sounds like a fire alarm going. So like the little fire alarm, low battery beep. That's what somebody said. They're right.
Form of things on the release candidate on the PTR. I think showdowns may be the content win that Blizzard have needed for a long, long time. And it means that finally, you don't have to install Follow the Arrow or put a TV show on to, level a character without losing your mind. But if you take anything away from this video, it's that Blizzard kinda saved a patch before it launched. All that we need for a real clear win, and I guess a reversal in the negative story that's hung over Blizzard's ability to execute patches, well, that's just a relatively bug-free patch day. I hope that'll happen, and if it does, then, yeah, we'll actually have to give them credit where it's due. And at least on the topics of today's video, credit where it's due. In older times, I would have expected all this stuff to reach live, half-baked, not having that rewards pass. The fact that it has means that patch day can actually feel like a proper game experience, and that makes all the difference from a player's perspective. And that's the perspective that can get lost by default when you're a huge company orchestrating huge teams. So, good stuff. Let's hope they stick the landing, and if you want to know all the other things in that patch, well, watch this video next.
Yeah, look, great video. Positive video overall from Bellular. Everyone always rips Bellular, so he's so negative and everything. This is a real positive video. He's basically saying Blizzard's cooking, they're listening, and this patch could be really good. Now, depending on how launch day is, I'm a little bit worried about Heroic World Tier and World Tier in general with, you know, that many players heading out to that zone, how that's going to be. That could break the freaking servers. We'll see. They're probably going to have to shard the shit out of them. But I'm excited to do them. I'm excited for 12.0.7. We got a new raid, new content to do, so that should be fun. We'll get in there. We'll do all the stuff that's available in this patch. And nice video overall from Bellular. I think 12.0.7 is going to be a good one.